Hey, what's up, you guys? It's voiceover Ella. So, while I'm doing this lovely clip of myself walking to the bookstore, let me explain what the heck is going on. So, I was lucky enough to go to an event for Amie, Kaufman, and Meagan Spooner's Unearthed. So, there's not going to be lots of cool vlogging in this vlog, because in the winter it gets dark really early, and there's nothing really you can film besides some blurry lights and stuff, which you kind of already saw in the intro bit. So, let's get started, right? So in this clip, I'm showing you the books that I already had that I brought to the event, which was the last book in the Starbound series and the first two in the Illuminae series, as well as Under a Painted Sky by Stacey Lee. And then, wow, here's the lovely thing of all the authors' books. So I guess I should explain to you what this event is. We have two best friends, Amie and Meagan, being hosted by two California best friends, Stephanie Garber and Stacey Lee. And so they're having like a best friends interview best friends kind of thing. So in this, you're going to see all these lovely clips of the bookstore and the books that I got, as well as some clips from the event that I've taken. And then at the very end, I'll show you the books that I got signed. I just wanted to vlog this because I thought it was going to be a really fun time and I really liked going to this event. Let me know if you liked it in the comments because I can definitely do more vlogs of events since I go to a lot of them. Alright, now for some clips from the actual event. I hope you enjoy!
Okay, so I'm going to ask my first question, which I've been really curious about ever since reading Unearthed. I remember when I first saw the cover reveal and it was pitched as Indiana Jones in space and I was like, oh my gosh, the best things ever. And then I read it and I was like, wow, it really is Indiana Jones in space. Even if I had never heard that pitch, I would have been like, I think everyone I've told them, like, you need to read this book. It's Indiana Jones in space. So did you two write it with that in mind? Like, we're going to write Indiana Jones in space? Or did you just write it and you're like, oh, this kind of feels like Indiana Jones in space?
This is actually the first book where we actually came up with that pitch before we ever wrote the book. And the story of how it came to be is actually pretty funny.
Even if it doesn't make us amazing.
No. We were actually on tour for, which book was it? Shattered World?
Shattered World, maybe?
I think so. We were on tour for Shattered World and we were in New York City and we had an afternoon off, which when you're on tour is very, very rare. And New York City is amazing. There's museums and parks and shopping and food, and there's just so much to do there. So obviously, the way we spent our afternoon off was in our pajama pants watching TV in our hotel room. And so we were channel surfing and discovered on one of the channels that there was an Indiana Jones marathon on.
Yeah, and I remember, I don't know who was flicking through, but there wasn't even a, oh, hey, you want to watch this, you want to watch this? It was just, we just stopped and we're in now.
Yeah.
And so we're watching it, and I guess we were thinking about it later, and when often authors find that when they read books, they can't help a little bit but take apart the book that they're reading. I'm sure you guys do this as well, and you're thinking, oh, nice chapter ending there or whatever. But then when you watch movies or other types of art, you don't dissect it in the same way. Mm-hmm. You kind of just come to it as a viewer. And so we were very much like watching this movie as a viewer. We weren't thinking, oh, great act change, director. And so we sort of were in our reader headspace and we started talking as readers. And we started saying in all the breaks, why are there not YA books just like this?
With adventure and sort of high stakes shenanigans and swashbuckling and banter and romance and swinging across chasms. And
grabbing the rope and swinging across the thing.
Why isn't this a thing in YA? That would be a perfect.
Yeah, and this conversation went on over multiple ad breaks for some time.
An embarrassingly long time.
Yeah, and we got more and more annoyed about why were there not books available for us to read.
What is wrong with YA authors that this doesn't exist?
And then really eventually we went, oh my god, wait, hang on a minute. Meg, we're authors.
Yeah, we could actually make this happen. We could fill that little gap.
Yeah, and a week later we were at work.
Yeah.
We went, this is what we love. This is the stuff that, I don't know, sometimes when I'm teaching writing, I call it the shut up and take my money list. And it's that list of stuff that if that thing is on the cover of the book or it's in the trailer for the movie or it's in the ad for the TV, you're like, I'm
sold.
there.
Yep.
And, and the truth is, for the stuff for me that's on my list like that, it maybe even only has to be 7 out of 10 good, and I still love it because it has my stuff in it, And for me, that's dragons and anything on an alien planet, and for some people it's going to be anything with a heist, don't even care if it's a good heist, and this book is kind of,
It's
all
like our
together.
love letter, really,
Yeah.
to Indiana Jones and Tomb Raider
And like
all those
the Mummy and the Martian,
Uh-huh.
and like it's our shut up and take my money list
Yeah.
in book form.
Yeah.
We wanted to know what your collaborative process was like, and I know for these Broken Stars, you each took a character, right? I think you were Harbor and
All right,
right?
gentlemen.
Right.
Yep. She writes the boys.
And
the
in
girls.
this one, I'm guessing that you were again.
I was Jules,
Jules.
which was an interesting choice on our behalf, given that Jules is the archaeologist and
And I'm the one
Meagan
who
is the
actually studied
scavenger.
archaeology.
Yeah, so I would be like sitting down to write these archaeology scenes, being like, all right, I know how to archaeol. This is going to be great. And then Meg would have to go through the chapter and be like, no, we're just going to tweak a few things.
That's not how it works.
So how do you
Yeah.
split that? What was the collaborative process like? How do you decide how you're going to write it?
Well, we do a lot of work ahead of time where we just play with the characters, because for us, the characters are the most important part of our books for us, and we want the way that their relationship evolves to feel really organic. And so we spend a really long time, like I'll have created my character and she'll have created her character, and we will just spend a really long time, months and months and months, just playing those characters together and like seeing and not trying to push them into a relationship, and just sort of seeing like what tensions come up and like what their dynamic is and how their voices evolve. And so we spend a really long time doing that, and by the time we're done, the book's kind of almost already written. Because
Yeah, because I think there's this, when you're writing dual point of view, you have to get the other person's character right.
Exactly right.
You know, exactly right. You know, I can't, when I'm writing a Jules chapter, I can't just have Mia behave in a way that suits me to progress the plot. It has to be completely consistent with the chapters from her point of view that went before and after, which means I need to know her inside out before we begin. So there's a lot of that, and we, you know, practically speaking, pass the manuscript back and forth and take it in turns to write our chapters and sort of edit and tweak as we go. And we honestly, by the end of it, there are giant tracts of the book that we have no idea who wrote
Yeah,
which
I mean,
bit
so when
at
we
all.
get the final, so when you're working on a book, you get, right before it goes to print, you get like one last chance to sort of look at it on what's called first pass pages. And, when we read through that, it's once you get to that point, you've read this book like 30 times, and so it's actually quite challenging to stay focused and actually read it like you're reading it for the first time. And so to encourage each other, we will often like write little notes to each other in the margins, like being like, oh, I still really love this line, you're such a genius. And honestly, half the time, like, you know, Amie will write like, oh my God, I love this part so much, this is like so beautifully written. I'll be like, you wrote that.
and I will deny all knowledge of having written it, and then we're both there being like, all right, well, if you didn't write it and I didn't write it.
And inevitably, it's always like the best parts of the book
Yeah.
that we can't remember who wrote it. And
Yeah.
it's not like a party line. We're not being like, you know, it's not
Because
like
it usually
political.
means that we both wrote it. It usually
Yeah.
means one of us started out and then the other one was like, you know, it just,
It's not. We're not just
This
like being
sentence
modest, like,
will-
oh, we
yeah.
always write all our stuff together. No, we legitimately do not even remember who
Do you
wrote what.
write like you live in Australia, you live in the United States, so I imagine it's difficult to get together to actually write together, but are you like on the phone, are you texting, are you?
I mean, the time zones are quite good in that as Meg heads to bed, I'm just getting up. So when we're on a roll, we can be like a 24-hour-a-day book machine.
So we'll have like an hour of overlap where we'll like talk to each other both about like just like how our day went, because I mean we're best friends.
Yeah, so there's
you know.
also, it sort of veers in and out of like books to
Yeah.
like what my dog did,
Yeah.
to books to, you know,
So
what I
we'll
did
like
the
talk
weekend.
about like what we did in our chapter or whatever, and then hand the chapter out. So I'll like write my chapter, and then in our hour of overlap we'll discuss it, and then I'll hand it to her, and then while I'm asleep she writes the next chapter, and I wake up and there's like a new chapter of my book. It's kind of amazing.
Like-
No, it's wonderful.
Okay, that was a long while without the lovely voiceover Ella. So I'm back, and to explain this next bit, I just want to like say, because it's kind of confusing, that throughout the event they were playing like I think it's called like the newly friend game or something, or like which friend is most likely to. They have to write down which out of the two of them would be the most likely to do this specific thing. So in this one, I just wanted to share this one part of it. It was the Hogwarts house question, so they wrote down what they think each other's Hogwarts houses are.
Ready?
I'm writing what she is.
Yeah,
right?
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We drew a picture. Wait, Hufflepuff? Oh, you're both Hufflepuff.
Oh yeah, they are.
Oh, yeah. We didn't feel good about being Hufflepuffs until we found out that each other was Hufflepuffs.
And then we were like, yeah, Hufflepuff.
I just wrote a book about a Hufflepuff hero.
Yeah, we really, like, wanted one who was a Hufflepuff hero rather than like the Gryffindor hero.
Yeah, no, Ice Wolves is a Hufflepuff hero.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he turns into a wolf, but you know, Badger Pride all the way. Yeah.
Isn't that just a lovely photo? Wow. Oh my gosh, we're looking so great in that photo. Okay, so let's move on. So they gave me this lovely bag, the one that you've seen in everyone else's vlog, who got like campaign materials for Unearthed. Wow, it's so beautiful. They gave me it at the bookstore because I bought a copy there. So that's pretty cool. I'll definitely use it. It's a nice tote bag. Then we got the actual book that I came for. So it's Unearthed, lovely. I'm trying to show you, it's shiny right here. I don't know if you can tell. But, and then there we go. There's the signature for Ella. Onward if you dare. You can read. I don't know why I read that. And then it's signed by both Amie and Meagan. Woo! Okay, next books. We got Illuminae, which is signed by Amie, and then Gemini, which is signed by Amie. Hopefully I'll get Jay to sign them someday. We got the entire Starbound series. I bought the other 2 books at the bookstore. So that's cool, and they're all signed by both of them. I just didn't want to take them all out. Stacey Lee was there. I'd had one of her books, then I got the other one because I'm honestly addicted to her writing. It's so good. Got those signed, showed you those. Woohoo! Thanks so much for watching this vlog, I guess, if you could call it a vlog. Am I a vlogger now? What is this life? I don't know. Hope you have a great time reading. Till I see you next time. Bye.